What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? Check it out, man. I am still in the Philippines, dude. Diddy trial day 1. This is part 2 of the day 1. A missing victim. Diddy threatened Michael B. Jordan and Michelle Williams. What? Trying to settle my stomach down. I'm trying to settle my stomach with some Red Horse, y'all. That's crazy, ain't it? Hey, y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that bell. Let's see what my heart had to say about this. Shout out to Facebook, man. My Facebook friends and family members. I'm gonna start uploading videos to the Facebook also. So what's up, Facebook? Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, YouTube. Let's check this bad boy out, man. Here we go.
Alleged victim 3 is missing, and that the prosecution cannot contact her or her attorney because it's going straight to voicemail and they can't communicate with her. Therefore, they're telling the judge in the second part of this first hearing that they don't know if she's genuinely going to come and give a testimony. If in this first day of when the trial begins, the prosecution have confirmed that they can't even get in contact with one of the alleged victims and that she basically is missing at this moment and they don't know if she's going to even give her testimony, what about the rest? Because one thing about dominoes, you drop one and the rest will fall with them. That in itself is very alarming and confusing. Do you think Diddy's people have anything to do with the fact that these victims are suddenly now not wanting to put out a testimony?
Man, hold up. Isn't this the... Hold up. The lawyer, the judge said that they can remain hidden, anonymous. The judge said that they can remain hidden. But this number 3, I thought number 3 came out anyway. Man. And I was like, okay, that's brave of them, or that's brave of her. But Cassie was the only one saying her name. So you mean to tell me this person that came out, it was like, yeah, I'm going to tell my name and I'm big and bad and bold. And now, crickets. You can't even find this person. Dang. I don't think Diddy and them off. You can't find the person or the lawyer. What? Dude, this is getting ready to be one hell of a real soap opera, man. This is one real soap opera. So, oh my God. I don't think the person that's scared all of a sudden they're not going to testify. I thought they had to testify. Man, here we go.
Them. That in itself is very alarming and confusing. Do you think Diddy's people have anything to do with the fact that these victims are suddenly now not wanting to put out a testimony? Because why can't the prosecution get in touch with you or your attorney? You might be busy. Your phone might be off. You might not want to know about the trial. You're scared about the trial. You're scared about giving your testimony. But best believe the prosecution should be able to contact the attorney. So what do you mean that this alleged victim is missing? What do you mean that she may not come and testify? Somebody needs to come and fix this mess, because this is day 1 of the Diddy hearing part 2, where we go into the latter of this hearing, which is taking place after that lunch break. There were 2 lunch breaks, and there was a first part of the hearing, lunch break, second part of the hearing, lunch break. And so I covered that in my previous video, which is linked in here. This is now the remainder of the first hearing, which lasted a very long time, and I want to get into the rest of this. Hey guys, it's 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦. Daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, comment down below, but give that click and subscribe. It's one click. Give this video a thumbs up, and let's go straight into this hearing. Now again, a lot of transcripts, but I've written my own notes so that you guys don't get lost in translation, and I'm going to give you the gist of the rest of this. And we definitely need to get into this second part. I keep saying second part. It's the rest of the hearing of the first day of the trial, because it's very important. One of the jurors says that I too saw a documentary on HBO, and the judge says, any further questions? 𝗟𝗜𝗡𝗞𝗦 says, I have one, and he shows Diddy's lawyers, and the prosecution 𝗟𝗡𝗞𝗦 shows the judge. If you heard testimonies from people you saw on the HBO documentary, would you believe them? That was the question that the prosecution wrote. The juror responds, it would depend. I don't remember much. The juror then walks away and leaves. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦, prosecution says, this juror hesitated about the HBO documentary. We anticipate some of these in the documentary testifying at trial are going to do so. Therefore, we ask for exclusion. We don't want these jurors because they're hesitating about the HBO documentary. And the HBO documentary was very negative about Diddy, so prosecution don't want somebody who's hesitant on it. Diddy's lawyer says, she said she could be fair, we want to keep her. The judge responds and says, no, she is excluded. So that is a whack for Diddy's lawyer because they wanted to keep this juror. For a juror to be unsure about Diddy after watching a HBO documentary, that is a gold mine for Diddy's lawyers, and they have lost that juror. Not good news for the rest of this hearing. Not good news. One juror was questioned and said that he saw the timeline of the arrest, the house raids, and knows about 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 the artist. Another juror, get this guys, said that he actually works for Diageo. He works for Diageo, guys. One thing about Diageo, one thing about that company, they are going to be intertwined within this Diddy case one way or another. They're going to find themselves somehow infiltrating this case and infiltrating the demise of Diddy, because Diddy tried to come for Diageo, and now one of the jurors works for Diageo, is part of this trial. Well, would you look at that, guys? Juror 116, another one, speaks on how he can't even see violence. He can't stand seeing people fall from skateboards, and he says that he can be fair, and he actually did see parts of the Cassie Hotel video. Why this person is talking about falling from skateboards, I don't understand. A lot of these jurors are talking about random stuff. Diddy's lawyers states in response to jury 116, how can you refuse to see forms of violence in court but not on TV? How can you watch the Cassie video but then you refuse to watch violence on TV? It doesn't make any sense. The juror responds saying, with simple responses to this is why Diddy's lawyers are dumb. Simple response to Diddy's lawyer, he states the latter was staged. Boom. He says the TV violence is staged. The Cassie stuff is not. He is not excluded, which is another beatdown for 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦, because that was a simple, effortless response that the judge was able to understand, and he said, you know what, we're going to keep this juror. 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 said, you know, trying to trap him, saying that you don't like violence, but yeah, you watch the Cassie video, that doesn't make any sense. And he was like, well, the TV stuff I watch is staged. This Cassie video is not. So it's a whole different conversation. Boom. So 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 as the lead lawyer is a big mistake. And this is what I've been stating. They should have been had Brian Steele, Mark Geragos, two of the powerhouse lawyers as part of the 8-pack deck on team of lawyers. This is who they should have had, because it doesn't make sense, because 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦 is not the one. It really doesn't make any sense. Another juror, 118, says, I know Mr. Combs has parties with drugs and intimacy. I learned it from podcasts. I listened to Joe Rogan. The judge says, can you be fair? He says, yes. This particular juror is not excused, nor is juror 127. They are moving fast. This is the transcript of the alleged victim that is missing. Judge, I will see some of you on May 12th. Then will victim 3 testify? 𝗟𝗓𝗡𝗞𝗦, prosecution says, I don't know. She may not show. Judge says, will you mention her in the opening? Prosecution, I don't expect so. If she were to testify, it will be in the second half. The judge says, if you can, tell them later this week. Then Brian Steele jumps into the field and says, could we enter your courthouse at 7 or 7:15 a.m. so we could meet with Mr. Combs? Judge says, fine with me. Check with the marshals. Okay, so many jurors, guys, the rest of the hearing that I didn't really, discuss, the transcripts, are just many jurors who are discussing either their own stories of other people, either discussing their own stories, or stories of other people close to them experiencing SA. Most of them are liberal. Most of them were not excluded. And many of them were simply just discussing and introducing the different types of jobs that they do, where they work, a hairdresser, and etc. That was also the rest of the hearing. One man was excused after he admitted his wife previously worked at a law firm that handled depositions connected to the litigation in the deadly City College stampede of 1991. She found Diddy's behavior to be very disturbing at that time, and therefore in general she does not like him. She was excused. Potential jurors were asked if they watched crime shows, whether they gathered their news from, and if they had an opinion on hip-hop. Other questions included whether prospective jurors had ever experienced a traumatic event, and if they believe that wealthy people get away with things that the less wealthy do not. So that is the majority of the rest of that hearing, and I think that this victim 3 that is missing is the major juice in the rest of this hearing, which is why I needed to discuss this, because where the hell is that victim gone? I'm very confused. And also, Diddy's lawyer Mark Agnifilo is getting read by these jurors, and he basically is getting whacked. The people that he wants to keep as jurors have been excluded, and then the jurors that he has questions for, they are able to clap back quickly, and therefore Mark Agnifilo loses the points, and the judge sides with the jurors in terms of not excluding them, or feels that they shouldn't be excluded. So it looks like it's not going for Diddy's lawyers. To be honest with you, I feel like they're not handling the questions well, but at the same time, the prosecution losing one of their victims is not good news, because they don't have a long list of people who are going to give evidence and, you know, testify as it is. So you need all the people that you can get. The less victims and people that you have, the less stronger your case is going to be. Yeah. Now, Rolling Stones are discussing the fact that Michael B. Jordan, they can confirm, is not going to be a witness in regards to this case, but that he was threatened by P. Diddy. It is unclear what role, if any of the five may have. The Rolling Stone has confirmed, the five referring to the celebrities mentioned, that Michael B. Jordan will not be called as a witness in the trial. Rolling Stone has also learned that Jordan and Ventura, Cassie, spent time together in 2015 and is referenced in Cassie's lawsuit against Diddy. During a break in Diddy's relationship with the R&B singer, Cassie began a flirtatious relationship with Michael B. Jordan, now revealed to be this actor. And according to a lawsuit, when Diddy found out, he allegedly called the actor and he threatened him, and then Michael B. Jordan proceeded to call Cassie and said, "You need to speak to Diddy."
Oh, so
the thing is, Cassie's
that's why his name is in this thing. That's why his name is in this thing, because Cassie had a little bit of a relationship, a little 𝗟𝗡𝗞𝗦. She bump into him a little bit. So, and then Diddy got mad and said, "Look here, bruh, you don't want this smoke. You don't want this smoke. That's my girl. Even though she don't want to be my girl right now, she's still my girl." So that's why his name was mentioned. Oh, now what about the Michael Myers? I don't think Cassie dated him. I don't think that Cassie dated him. That's the Austin Powell dude. The Austin Powell Austin Powers or something like that. That movie, that goofy movie. Yeah.
He found out, he allegedly called the actor and he threatened him, and then Michael B. Jordan proceeded to call Cassie and said, "You need to speak to Diddy."
There you go.
The thing is, Cassie's lawsuit did not mention Michael B. Jordan's name. This is the first time that his name has been thrown into this Diddy mess. It was simply actor. It was very vague. We don't know who it was. So, you know, his name was not mentioned. So unbeknownst to me, I didn't know that Diddy was threatening Michael B. Jordan. Rolling Stones have confirmed this. They've confirmed that he's not going to be a witness. I don't understand how Rolling Stone have that information, because when these celebrities were mentioned via these jurors, we don't know in what way they were going to be mentioned. In my opinion, I thought he could have been a witness, but Rolling Stone have somehow got intel and have confirmed that this man is not a witness. Also, Michael B. Jordan has just had a very successful movie called Sinners that is basically going viral. He does not need this mess and this PR nonsense, and I feel like he will easily fly above it because his movie is doing so well. He does not need to deal with this stuff. So for the fact that his name has now been thrown into this and mentioned by a juror is simply not good news. But also, this goes to show us these celebrities being mentioned, perhaps that they're not going to have any affiliation to the court case. Maybe they are going to be a witness, maybe they're not. I feel like we know Kid Cudi's going to be a witness, but I feel like the others we're not really sure of. But his name was not mentioned in the lawsuit initially in November 2023 when she dropped that. So I wanted to add that to the video because this is what Rolling Stone have said. They've come out with an article. And breathe. Guys, it is 4 a.m. in the morning right now in London.
Yeah.
I needed to write my own notes on the rest of the transcripts, which were very long, to get this out to you guys so that we guys all stay clued up. I do believe that there are probably going to be some more hearings later this week in terms of jury selection. I don't think jury selection has been completed. Correct me if I'm wrong. 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 But I believe jury selection has not been... I don't believe it's been completed. If it has, then we're not going to be getting any hearings until the 12th of May. But as of right now, the HBO staffer is staying in the jury pool, which is a big loss for Diddy's people as well, which I think that we need to discuss. But as we can see here, here are the instructions for the jurors. You are sworn to give true and complete answers to all questions in the questionnaire. Do not discuss your questions and answers or the case with anyone now until further instructed by the court. Do not do your own research in the case. As you can see here, these are the instructions
Don't do
that
your
jurors
own
must
research.
read
Come on,
carefully.
dog.
I'm not entirely sure if it's been completed. If it has been completed, then we're not going to be getting any new hearings until 12th of May. If it has been completed in one day, I would be shocked, but I don't think that, jury selection is going to be completed in one day. But they're running through it fast because they want to get through everything ASAP. They want to get to it. They don't want any delays in this case. Diddy wanted a speedy trial. There are also new court sketches, as we can see, of Diddy hugging his lawyers, smiling, keeping on that defiant spirit that he believes that he has. And some people have been responding to these court sketches saying that this is not the Diddy that we've been known. It isn't. This Diddy is different. He's lost a lot of weight. His eyes are more gaunt, sunken in, a lot more skinny, grey hair all over himself. But don't let the change in his appearance fool you. This is still the same man being accused of the madness, but this new change in his appearance, with excluding the hair dye, is all meant to work in his benefit, to show the world how feeble and weak this man is, that he can't be doing the things that he's been accused of. Don't be fooled for that, guys. Please don't be fooled for that. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Please do send a tip. There's a $ there. It goes a long way. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel, Morad Nation. Click that button and subscribe. It's just one click, guys. That's all you guys have to do. And click the notifications bell and keep that on, because I'm going to keep coming out with these trial review videos with everything that is going on, so that you guys stay clued up, which should be roughly around 10 to 12 minutes. This is slightly going over. I do apologize, but I want to make sure that you guys are all clued up with everything. It's a lot. It is a lot, guys, but this is the best way, I believe, to review trial content, because the transcripts are just a lot in an actual hearing, a trial that has begun. We can just get confused and lost in it. I don't want to go live for 3-4 hours waiting for each update to roll in, because I do feel like, respectfully, we've all got lives to live. We've all got children. No, I ain't got children, but people got children to feed, bills to pay, jobs 9 to 5. Like, everyone's busy. Do you understand? So I just feel like people aren't really going to have the time for that. So it will definitely be still going live 110%, but I think it's imperative to give content like this, so that you guys can keep this in the background of me speaking whilst you're doing whatever you're doing, so that you guys are clued up with everything that is going on. So these videos, I believe, are the best. Comment down below if you agree with that, so I know. I feel like feedback is important from you guys. Subscribe to the channel. It's just one click. Comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up. The Met Gala is happening right now as I film this, but it's 4 a.m. in the morning. I need to edit this and put this up, and I will be discussing the Met Gala tomorrow and the affiliations with Diddy as well. All of that will be discussed tomorrow. Over and out. This is the first day of the trial. It's been a very busy day. 2 separate videos covering this, because the hearing was so long, but each video of me covering the hearing has been jam-packed. There's been so much information that I think I'm glad that I did it this way. Subscribe, have a great day, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video. Why are trained lawyers who are part of the jury selection reading about jury selection online? Why are you doing that? Some of these jurors have come clean. Well, one of them has come clean to say that he read about the jury selection on the way home, but this man is a trained lawyer. You're not meant to read about anything in regards to this particular case online or anywhere around you. But you've done that. The prosecution are worried. Diddy's lawyers want you to stay on. That doesn't happen, and you get struck off, because as a trained lawyer, you should definitely know why you shouldn't be reading about anything about jury selection that you're part of. You're part of this jury. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why you got struck off and basically excluded. It's been a slow second day of the hearing that we're getting into, guys. And the jury selection is not looking good. Hey guys, it's Morad 𝗚𝗡𝗏. Daily and consistent content. Subscribe to the channel, guys. It's just one click. That's all you guys have to do. Click the notifications bell so that you guys get these daily hearing reviews. We are officially in day 2. The hearing is still going on. It's been going on for the past hour and a half, but of course, because jury selection is being very difficult, this hearing will go on for a while. So I want to get out the first part of day 2 to you guys immediately in 10 minutes, and then I'll get out the second part if there are huge news that gets revealed. But jury selection it's looking like it's a problem. Diddy walked into court today wearing the same outfit as yesterday, navy crew neck sweater, white shirt and grey pants. He wore white socks and black loafers. He was not allowed to wear shoes with laces as per the judge's order, and Diddy hugged three of his lawyers and put his hands on the shoulder of another and put his fist on his chest as he looked at a black male supporter in the public gallery. He then sat down and talked to his lawyer Brian Steele. Judge 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦, prosecutors and the defense will question another 36 jurors today, and of course another 36, I would imagine, Wednesday and Thursday, for the rest of this week. Now, it's been a very slow start. Of course, I've written some notes for the hearing so that you guys get to know what's going on without me reading the transcripts. Unfortunately, nearly 7 to 8 jurors have failed to qualify for the jury pool and have been excused. A woman was excused after she told the judge that things she had heard about the case caused her views of Diddy to be negative. I guess I lean towards him having committed the crimes, but I don't know. The juror said that she leans towards her belief that Diddy committed the crimes. Defense attorney Mark said that what the juror is basically saying is that there is not a presumption of innocence in this person's mind. That in itself is a big problem, especially for the defense team. They want that juror out. A second woman was excused after she questioned whether Diddy's access to money could influence the outcome of the trial. A third woman, whose son is an assistant district attorney in Rockland County, was also excused after she indicated that she did not know whether she would be biased towards the prosecution. A man was dismissed after he told the judge he was taking medication that would prevent him from traveling to court. A real estate broker was also dismissed after he said that he was unsure how seeing the 2016 video of Diddy dragging Cassie through an LA hotel affected his impression of the case. The juror had a very long, very thoughtful delay when Your Honor was asking about the video. Diddy's lawyer said, "There is such a danger when these videos are out in the public and then we try to get them into jury selection." I mean, I completely agree. Judge 𝗟𝗡𝗡𝗞𝗦 agreed to strike the juror for cause. The judge also dismissed a man, which I opened the video about, in regards to how he clicked on news articles about jury selection when he was riding the Metro North home from the court. "I shouldn't, but I did," the man admitted. Prosecution sought his dismissal. This is going to be a long trial. There's going to be a lot of media. The government.
He ain't want to be on the daggone jury. Come on, man. Y'all can't tell if these people want to be on. Dude, I hate Puffy. I hated his music. I hate him. I can't wait to say he guilty. Nah, you ain't gonna be on this jury. Thank you. Let me go home. See you later. Bye.
Government is concerned with the jurors' ability to follow directions, Prosecutor Christy Slavic said. And this is what basically I've been saying for the past couple of months. These documentaries that have also been coming out by Tubi, HBO, TMZ, whatever you want to call it, they are all going to mess up the jury selection pool because it's so difficult for you not to even see that with all the access of social media. Let alone the fact that CNN and that video with Cassie and Diddy obviously went viral, and for the fact that Busby and the 1-800 conferences and all of the civil lawsuits that came out. All of this creates a media circus. I mean, not great for Diddy when negative publicity, but also when it comes to this point of jury selection, it can be very, very tricky to find the right jurors. Mistrials could take place and they might have to even relocate the trial from New York to a different state in America to find more accurate, identifiable, unbiased, objective jurors. And that in itself is a big problem. This is a very bad hearing, in my opinion, that is going on right now. It's a very slow start, and if anything, I wouldn't be surprised that if it still keeps going this way, that the 12th of May of the opening statements is not going to happen. It's going to be delayed because they're not going to find the right jurors. Because what do you mean that 7 to 8 jurors have been excluded? What do you mean that so many of these jurors are responding to the judge saying that they have seen the video of Cassie, they know of Diddy in terms of negative connotations and negative publicity, and that therefore can some of them really be objective and unbiased? No, that's why so many of them are basically being struck off. So this is a very slow start to the hearing. I didn't expect it to go this way. I thought that, yesterday's hearing was a lot more fast paced, that the judge was getting through it. And whilst he's trying to do that now, of course, there are issues. Not only that, but a lot of these jurors are discussing their own SA experiences. And if they've gone through SA or know somebody who's gone through SA as similar to yesterday's hearing for the jury selection, then of course they're going to carry that subconsciously when it comes to finding out if Diddy is guilty or not. Of course, I think that Diddy is a bad man and I think that Diddy is going down, but we need a jury that's unbiased in order to get accurate depictions for the results when it comes to the verdict. So therefore, a lot of these jurors discussing their own SA, I think, could interestingly, subconsciously project themselves onto the Diddy case. When they view the videos, when they view the testimonies from either side, it's going to be very interesting indeed. Very slow day for jury selection. It's bad news for this whole case in general, for the fact that they're not finding finding the right people and that people are basically breaking the laws. A lawyer confirmed to the judge that he was reading up on jury selection when he was part of jury selection. You are a trained lawyer. You know for a fact that you're not meant to do that anyways. They've all been advised not to do so. They've signed forms not to do so. But you as a lawyer, you've been trained, but at the same time, you then want to run your mouth, read this stuff, and now you've been excused and striked off like many of these individuals. Say it ain't so, guys. Say it ain't so, guys. Say it ain't so. Like one of the jurors basically says, mostly everyone saw the video of the defendant and his ex-girlfriend. The judge said, you wrote he looked angry and hostile. And the juror said, I did. The judge says, could you be fair? The juror responds, yes. He leaves, neither side objects, so he stays in. Can you really be objective? If you've seen that video of Cassie getting beaten up, can you really be objective? Let's be real for a minute. I don't think that you can, and I think that some people are just saying that. And for the fact that the judge has to take their word for it is very, very tricky. Normally, a juror would say, I don't know either party. I don't know these people. Cool, let's come in. You can be a juror. But for you to say, yeah, I've seen that video. Yeah, Diddy looks angry. Yeah, he looks hostile. But you know what? I can be fair is a risky game to play. And I think that Diddy's lawyers are writing these notes, especially somebody like Brian Steele, one to watch, and they're ready for an appeal. They're ready to apply a mistrial. They're ready to take it that route. And I feel like this is not gonna end in July. We're gonna be until August, September, maybe even October. The verdict might be in November. Like, this is crazy. I'm
holding fast. It's funny because I'm holding fast, man. I think Diddy's lawyers is gonna fight with everything they got, and I know I'm way off, but I'm holding on to my first. What I first said that this trial gonna last for 2 years. It's gonna last for 2 years, man. I'm holding on to that. Y'all gonna be like, Uncle Mike, the only one that was saying 2 years. It's gonna be over a year. Hey, it's gonna be over a year, so I'm gonna be the closest. Watch.
One of the jurors says, one of my brothers went to jail for robbery, another for fraud. They're both home now. On the news, I saw this trial was coming up. It's been all over the news, including this morning. It was also on in my house. The judge says you weren't supposed to. And then, the juror leaves, but the juror doesn't get struck off. So that in itself is confusing, because why has one juror got struck off, but other jurors have not? To me, that's just confusion. For Diddy's lawyers, this is all goldmine for them to build a case to say mistrial, for them to say different location, for them to say, that we're basically not going to run with this.
This ain't going to be no mistrial.
Stress. Even one of the jurors says that, her nephew was a gang member shot by the police. Her mother's a cancer survivor. And the judge is like, how was your English? The juror says, sometimes reading is difficult. Can you sit here and read emails and my legal instructions? The juror says, I think so. I'm not really sure. But the prosecution basically wants this person completely out. They don't want that person to be involved because they can't even read English properly. Now, no disrespect, but of course, that is a language that you need to be very well in when it comes to a court case that's in that language. So, of course, we've now got language issues. This basically what I'm saying is that these jurors don't seem that strong. They also seem heavily biased, and they also seem like they have their own level of SA or essay stories or some, traumatic stuff that they've gone through. This other juror said, my nephew was a gang member who got shot by the police. They dropped the charges, and he's supposed to come out in July. Like, I don't know what's going on, but it's very slow. And so I wanted to get into this, hearing. It's still going on, and I presume it's going to go on for the next couple of hours. But I wanted to just get this out to you guys so that you guys know what is going on in this day 2 hearing. And of course, with the Diddy sketches that have also been seen, you can obviously see him still there, looking the same, wearing the same clothes, and that's basically, I don't really have much to say on his sketches, but he's basically wearing the same clothes. I don't know why he's wearing the same clothes. He was given a cabinet of stuff to wear, but I think he's choosing to wear the same clothes for some kind of psychological reason. I wouldn't be surprised, guys. He's got 8 lawyers on deck. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. It's just one click to subscribe. That's all you guys have to do. It goes a long way. Let's get to 400,000 subscribers, Murad Nation. Send a tip if you guys wish to. There's a $sign there. It goes a long way. Do comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, and of course I will be going live as the week progresses discussing this, but of course I think it's important to get these videos out to you guys in a very thorough, concise, quick manner. Subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon for another video.
Man, are you serious, Young? 8 lawyers. This Bama got 8 lawyers. Y'all all going down. God damn, the feds ain't gonna play, man. The Fed, dude, you know they got more video footage. Just in case y'all don't know, some of the top things I found out is they got more footage. They added more charges on, and it's just, dude, it's just a lot of sugar. It's a lot of bullshit. Hold up, I ain't played my man in a minute. It's a whole lot of stuff going on, man. Yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff.
A bullshit.
Yeah. So, hey, I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Y'all tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.